from Hollywood and the four corners of the world. You asked for it. Starring Rich Little. Here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Hey. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that takes you around the world in 30 minutes just because you asked for it. Tonight, Mexico's flying Birdman, Africa's spitting cobra, the world's most remarkable balancing act on ice skates, and much, much more. Would you step off a tiny platform 100 feet in the air and then hang by a thread to prove you become a man? This is what the Paplanta Indians do to mark their passage into manhood. And this very serious and ancient ceremony that challenges one's nerves, to say the least, has been witnessed by our Tony Thomas in the heart of Mexico, because Carol Ann Howard of Seattle, Washington, you asked for it.
Rich, this 9-year-old boy, is preparing for a dangerous ritual that is more than 1,000 years old. Jose is one of 7 children and comes from a family that has carried on the Totonaca rituals for generations. It is a tradition in which the older voladores instruct the novices. Jose's father, Matias, is teaching his son the same moves that he learned as a child. Jose has been training like this for the past 8 months in preparation for his first flight. Today, Jose Luis Morena Cortez becomes a man and a voladore.
What is a voladore? Well, that means flyer, and that's exactly what Celso is going to do. As part of the Dance of the Eagles, he's going to climb that pole along with 4 other men. They will tie ropes around their waists, and they will descend head first in a whirling blur of color.
After a series of rituals on the ground, the Indians climb 100 feet to the top. Teamwork and timing are essential. The slightest miscalculation could upset the rhythm. There are no safety nets. An improperly tied rope, a sudden shift in weight, anything that might set up an unstoppable sway would mean disaster or death. On a given signal from the captain, the flyers drop towards the ground, head first. They gradually descend, revolving 13 times. 13 times 4 equals 52 revolutions, the exact number of weeks it takes for the Earth to complete its cycle around the sun. The ceremony is a celebration of the sun and the sun's cycle calculated by Mayan astronomers.
To some, this may seem like a stunt, but it isn't. This is a seriously religious celebration, and these men risk their lives for their tradition. Young Celso became a voladore today, and we're here to witness it with our cameras, because you asked for it.
I'm glad when I became a man, I didn't have to hang by my toes, or I never would have become one. Next, the birth of a piano, and we'll deliver that right after this.
And now back to Rich Little.
Whoever gave birth to that pianist did a good job. But who gave birth to that piano? Well, unlike the pianist, it wasn't born intact with all its teeth in place. We're going to show you how a piano is born. How? Very carefully. Our Danny Folke is in the scrub-up room right now. Maureen Dreyer of Walpole, Massachusetts, you asked for it.
Wood, wood, and more wood. More than 600,000 feet of Sitka spruce alone is out there among some of the most expensive lumber in the world. And soon, that expensive wood will be turned into beautiful pianos here at the Steinway factory in Long Island City, New York. This family-run company was founded 128 years ago by Henry Steinway. Today, the chairman of the board is his great-grandson, John Steinway.
We use so many different types of lumber for their specific properties. One of the main specific woods that we use is maple. It is very hard, close-grained wood. The purpose of using maple is where you want strength.
Once a piece of lumber has passed the weeding out process, the next important step is forming the parts of a grand piano. Here, 7 husky men are needed to bend 12 to 18 glued pieces of hard rock maple into the classic shape of a grand piano. This process is called rim bending.
The rim bending press was designed and built by my great uncle, C.F. Theodore Steinway. It was a concept of his back in the 1870s to build an arch, to make the tensions higher and therefore the power of the piano larger. When you string a grand piano, you're putting nearly 35,000 pounds of combined tensions on that arch, which is the rim of the grand piano.
After all the interior woodwork is completed, the rim becomes a finished piano case. Then the other 2 major components of the piano are installed: the soundboard, iron plate and strings, and the action. The action consists of all the moving parts and hammers that strike the strings. After the piano has been strung and the action installed, it's wheeled into what's called the pounding room. Here, a specially designed machine pounds on the keyboard, depressing the keys hundreds of thousands of times. This ensures evenness of key response to the virtuoso's touch. The last step in the construction of the piano is called tone regulation. This is not tuning, but the actual adjusting of the resiliency of the wool felt hammers. This is what determines the tone quality of the piano. A highly skilled operation requiring many years of experience.
Many of these developments in the piano, which are now more or less standard in every piano throughout the world, were originally designed and built by Steinway & Sons.
It takes a full year from step 1 to the final process, but the ultimate test is in the playing. And I think this one definitely passes the test. And we're here because you asked for it.
This is Liberace. Gee, wasn't that awful? I just hate to see a piano undressed. No candelabra. Well, we're twice blessed on this show. We not only have the best of more than 2,500 stories that appeared in the original You Asked For It, but we also have the original host of that great show. To introduce them to you, here's the best there is, Mr. Jack Smith.
Thank you, Rich. In 1954, we had the pleasure of presenting an outstanding action balancing act. They were Bill and Billy Henry, father and son. Well, 2 years later, we were asked to find out what had happened to them, and we did. What had happened was really big time, and here it is.
This is called a flag. Difficult on solid ground, doubly difficult on ice. Coming up, a hand-to-foot flip. One hand to one hand, and little Billy straight as a ramrod. Now balancing on his head, and watch this. One finger to one finger. This is the stunt that has the audiences gasping. Yes, two great performers, father and son, the Henrys. You asked for it.
Rich, as you can see, the Henrys not only did some wonderful flips for the audience, but the audience really flipped for them.
Absolutely. And you'll flip for what's coming up, Africa's deadly spitting cobra. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
A rattlesnake shakes its tail to scare intruders. But there's a snake in Africa that has an even more terrifying method of warning trespassers away. The deadly spitting cobra sprays a burning poisonous venom in the eyes of enemies that can cause permanent blindness. Because you asked for it, Terrence Vidal of La Mirada, California, our Janet Langhart journeyed to the jungles of Kenya to bring us back a close-up look at this dangerous reptile.
There are 3,000 different kinds of snakes in this world, but only 2 of them spit. This is one of them, spitting cobra of Africa. When provoked, he can spray his venom as far as 12 feet. The fine spray is actually an early warning system, blinding his enemies and encouraging them to get out of the way before he's forced to bite. The cobra's bite is deadly, but his spit isn't exactly a good time. People who've run into an angry cobra and survived describe the venom as acutely painful, like someone throwing acid into your eyes. Only quick medical attention will save you from permanent blindness.
Left to his own devices, the cobra is really an easygoing sort of snake. Shy, retiring, nocturnal, fairly good swimmer, loves to sunbathe, and except for an unfortunate appetite for African eggs, not nearly as vicious as its reputation.
Unless, of course, you get him mad. I'm Janet Langhart with the Spitting Cobra in Malindi, Kenya, and I'm here because you asked for it.
I'll tell you, that snake is the spitting image of a taxman I used to know.
Good evening. This is Alfred Hitchcock. If you'd like to see a truly fascinating daredevil in action, or something rather strange, or even somebody nice, though I don't care for that sort of thing myself, do write and ask us for it. If you don't write, it will be just horrible. Here's our address. You asked for P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028.
You know, they say a dog is a man's best friend. But who's a dog's best friend? This man, Dr. Lincoln Parks. What he's done for crippled dogs should happen to a Lhasa Apso or a Dachshund or a German Shepherd, and it did. Now, I told my dog Dudley to watch this story. So, Danny Folke, take it away. Because Grace Sparrowhawk of Tampa, Florida, you asked for it.
Dr. Lincoln Parks is the director of a successful veterinary hospital in Malvern, Pennsylvania. A specialist in orthopedic surgery, he often comes across dogs with crippling diseases. Aware of the very special relationship that many dog owners have with their pets, he sought a way to save the lives of paralyzed dogs that might otherwise be put to sleep. So about 20 years ago, he invented a device called the canine cart.
Most dogs become very much rejuvenated, having the ability to get around once again. We see dogs being dropped into a cart and they'll take off down the hall or down the street, you know, not having walked maybe for a year. They're very happy to be in these things.
Holly, get the ball. Bring it back, come on. Come on, Holly. Hurry up.
Most of these dogs have been paralyzed because of car accidents that broke their backs or disc diseases that rendered their hind legs useless. But with the canine cart, their lives can radically change for the better. In a small shop inside Dr. Parks' hospital, Bud Walton makes about 2 carts a day. Even though Dr. Parks has been building the carts for 2 decades, it's a well-kept secret. He doesn't do much advertising, so much of his business is by word of mouth. Although dog owners as far away as Japan and Australia have bought the amazing device.
It's fun to watch him being able to run around. He was very upset not being able to run anywhere. He'd just drag his legs and he'd know that he couldn't get anywhere, so he'd whimper a lot and cry a lot. And then when he got the cart, he was fitted at Dr. Parks' office, and he got in the cart and he ran right out the door.
It works much along the same principle as a pony cart. The dog's back legs are put into ring supports, while a shoulder yoke supports the front of the cart. The dog can then propel himself quite freely with his front legs.
She was a lot happier, like she can move again. She wasn't set to be just sit there, you know. She didn't have to just sit there and drag herself. She could just up and just go. And she loves it, she really does.
It's spectacular to watch these dogs test their newfound freedom. Walking, running, and playing, even maneuvering tough stairways as if nothing was the matter with them. Not only are the dog owners overjoyed, but also their life-loving pets.
He thinks he can do everything.
No. The canine cart is such a wonderful invention. So simple and yet able to give these beautiful dogs a new lease on life. Thanks, Dr. Parks. And thank you, because you asked for it.
Isn't that a heartwarming story? Can you see that dog bragging to all the other dogs in the neighborhood? Hey, Woofer, you still walking? Hey, look at me. I got wheels.
And now back to Rich Little.
That's our show for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time on... Good night, everybody.